As 2023 draws to a close, MMA enthusiasts are eager to see what the UFC has in store for the following year. All eyes are on the historic UFC 300 event in April, but the global leader in mixed martial arts has already revealed the main events for the first quarter of 2024.
UFC 300, number 2 ranked Yuri Prohaska versus number 5 ranked Alexander Rakic. Former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling moves up to featherweight to face number 7 ranked Calvin Kattar, and the return of Bo Nickel. He hasn't lost a fight in 5. He's got 5 wins, all coming by finish. He's 5-0, and he is taking on Cody Brundage. Brundage's last 4 fights, his last 4 wins, have all come by first round finish.
With the calendar year ending as well as particular landmark shows looming, Schaub is one of many speculating on what could transpire in 2024. He said, UFC 300, I think you get Conor McGregor, Michael, Chandler. Then I also think, and I have no inside sources, I didn't source check anything with this, but it's just what appears, where I think this could line up. I think UFC 300, you're gonna get Conor Chandler, and you're gonna get GSP Nick Diaz. Here's my only assumption with that. If you notice lately, GSP's posted a hell of a lot more. When guys retire, they're usually not that active on social media. They're sure not posting training or anything. Look at GSP's social media. He's posting way more content. He's in phenomenal shape. He was supposed to grapple on December 15th. They pulled him from that card. He's just commenting on it now, so he's in shape. I think they're pulling him, and I think he's staying in shape to come out at UFC 300. Leon Edwards made a second successful defense of his welterweight strap just 2 weeks ago, and is wasting no time in returning to the octagon. While attending his favorite soccer club's stadium, Leon Edwards spoke to the Aston Villa supporters. It was amazing, to go out there and defend my belt for the second time and bring it back home. I will defend my belt in April at UFC 300 in Vegas again. Then hopefully, in the summertime, get a flight back home in Birmingham at Villa Park. I'm in talks with the UFC, so hopefully we can get it done. McGregor took to social media on Monday morning to say he will fight Chandler on International Fight Week after months of speculation.
Hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, a happy new year to you all. I'd like to announce the return date for myself, the notorious Conor McGregor, for the greatest comeback of all time. Will take place in Las Vegas for International Fight Week on June the 29th. Come a little closer. And the opponent, Michael Chandler. And the weight, Mr. Chandler, 185 pounds.
During the Day of Reckoning boxing event in Riyadh, Conor McGregor sent a stern message to Dana White about his potential upcoming fight.
Always have been, always will be.
Get me
I
back
always.
in there.
I was going to ask you.
Get the Mac back
Against
in
who?
there.
Against who, though?
The Mac has loads to offer and loads to deliver.
Against who?
They're talking money. I don't give a. They're talking money here in Saudi. The lads in the UFC aren't really talking any. So the lads here are talking money. The UFC aren't talking any. So I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here the usual, Gareth,
I hate to apologise for you because you're Conor McGregor, but I have to apologise for the language. We're live on air. But that's fine. Are you talking about boxing then rather than mixed martial arts?
I'm talking about give me something, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be back in April. It's supposed to be December.
Can I apologise as well? You were never the interim champion.
They've never treated anyone. No one's ever been treated for all the figures I've brought in this game. I sell more than all of them combined, yeah? I sell more than every one of them combined. No one in the history of the fight games ever been treated the way I'm getting treated at this minute, yeah? To what I came through, to what I bring. It's shoot up floodgates for me, yeah? And I'm waiting. My patience is wearing thin on me waiting, yeah?
I always appreciate you being around the fight game anyway. Cheers, Tom.
It all happened during an Instagram Live Dana White did in order to talk to the fans. Teasing that he would announce more fights soon, Dana said, I talked to Conor today. I'm in Abu Dhabi right now. Conor's in Dubai. We talked tonight. He and I will get something figured out soon. We're talking. I did announce some fights for UFC 300. I told you there's more coming this week. You guys are so aggressive. There will be more fights for 300 announced this week. I'll have a bunch more this week for 300 to let you guys in on. Not the main event. I won't have the main event yet. Waiting for the main event. Throughout last Thursday, Michael Chandler wanted to chime into the whole drama with Conor. He specifically said that McGregor no longer deserves to get any fight he wants.
How annoying is it that you're having to wait this long? What's the update on the fight?
There's talks going on and happening basically every single day. I think Conor's coming back. I don't think he wants to stain his legacy by leading us all down this road of I'm doing the Ultimate Fighter, I'm fighting Michael Chandler. Oh, by the way, never mind, I'm not coming back. Make sure you buy my title sport and my Irish whiskey and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, supposedly there was a countdown with USADA 6 months and all that other stuff. That's not for me to choose. Has there been exemptions before? People are talking about exemptions, of course. That's all on the table. And I do believe I fight Conor within the next 6 months. And it's going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views that we have ever seen. I'm going to go out there and knock him out within the first 2 weeks.
Sean O'Malley recently decided to call out Conor McGregor in his most recent YouTube video. It is unclear if this is a tactic in order to get a fight against Conor McGregor, but Sean O'Malley does plan everything 2 steps ahead of his competition. This is what he said about McGregor. You know what's crazy? Is Conor is supposedly just begging for a fight. Give me a fight. Let me fight, daddy. I wonder if he's making so much money per fight that it's really just not that beneficial to the UFC. Like they're losing money when he fights. Despite these extracurricular activities Cejudo claims McGregor partakes in, he still acknowledged that Conor is the face of the UFC. Henry Cejudo in his latest YouTube video stated, "I don't know if that company coming in will be testing for some of that booger sugar, but whatever it is, Conor McGregor Tapper is actually on it." On the other hand, losing by decision against Sean Strickland hit Israel Adesanya hard. He even stated he would be taking a long break until 2027. But during the Day of Reckoning, he hinted that was only a joke.
The most active champion, top fighter, champion in the league. So, life has forced me to take some time off, and I will. But we will see you soon. I said 2027, and the retards out there actually thought I meant that. But you'll see.
Chael Sonnen, the former UFC star, said this on his YouTube channel. The reason that Strickland and Du Plessis was rushed to the marketplace is because the winner is going to take on Izzy at UFC 300. That isn't done, which I have also made very clear, but that is the option that is tempting to be preserved the most. Izzy has spoken on this. Izzy hasn't given us a commitment, but he has come close. One thing that I do prefer is that Izzy goes first. I would prefer that Izzy prior to Strickland versus Du Plessis goes first and says, "I'll be waiting for you in April at 300. Fight fans are expecting UFC 300 to be one of the biggest combat sports spectacles of 2024, but Chael Sonnen has some serious concerns about the matchmaking for one of the card's recently announced bouts. Sonnen said on his YouTube channel, "UFC 300 is coming up, everybody's talking about it. You would think this must be a very big fight. Brundage versus Nickel. I want to just try to understand what's going on here." Okay, in Bo's last contest, he was a 24-1 favorite. 24-1 favorite represented the biggest disparity, the biggest line in the history of the UFC. We've now got him in another fight on a featured card known as 300. He's a 14-1 favorite. While Nickel's relative inexperience in MMA is understandably a factor in how the UFC has chosen to develop a potential star, Sonnen argues that booking him against fighters that he's significantly favored to beat is a confusing strategy. Sonnen stated, 14-1 favorite is the odds makers. Why are we doing this? There is no reason to do this fight. Is this a numbers situation? Do we need to get Bo X amount of fights before he goes in for a title? Do we need to get Bo X amount of fights before he goes into the top 5? Do we need to get him X amount of fights before he goes into a rankings match? Is that all that this is? Israel Adesanya praises the Bo Nickel fighting style, and he said,
Bo Nickel. People are anointing him the next middleweight champion before a single UFC fight. You have thoughts on him?
He's good. I like what he did. Yeah, but I mean, you have to see what he does. No one of these guys are gonna just trash him like, oh, this, that, da, da, da. It looks good, so let's see. Let's see what he does in the UFC. And they'll work him properly, I think, because he's a D1 wrestler and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, they'll do the right things to get him to the big fights. Yeah.
Dan Hooker believes there's at least one contender that UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev wants no part of. Tsarukyan likely needs one more win to earn a shot at Makhachev, but Hooker doesn't think that the streaking Tsarukyan should hold his breath waiting for that rematch. Hooker stated, "Yeah, they had a pretty close fight in the first one. Yeah, Tsarukyan could beat him. Islam's not going to fight him. I guarantee he'll retire by the time Arman gets there. For sure. It's too risky. There's too much risk. There's too many other easier fights out there that he'd rather fight. There's easier fights out there. Stylistically. There are bigger names. No one's going to buy an Arman Tsarukyan pay-per-view. Come on. No one's tuning into the press conference. No one's giving $80 for the pay-per-view. You'd rather watch Islam fight Conor McGregor or Justin Gaethje or something like that. Moreover, as reported by MMA journalist Ariel Helwani, McGregor even tried to push the UFC to be a part of the promotion's historic card. Helwani wrote on X, "International Fight Week is in fact slated for June 29th in Vegas. First time that IFW will be in June. It's usually that first or second Saturday in July. McGregor wanted to fight at 300. He pushed hard for it. He was ready, I'm told. But after meeting with the brass last week, they settled on June 29th. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.